The Human-Centric Storytelling is a series of reflections and conversations that provides an overview, tools, and frameworks from world-class marketing leadership in human-centric approach to storytelling. From over 2 decades of leading brands like Nokia, Nike, Adidas, and most recently as Chief Marketing Officer at Saucony. During this podcast, I will introduce you to concepts of brand marketing, communications, and successful frameworks that the most loved brands use in their day-to-day work. We'll also discuss various disciplines and the roles that these brands play in the development of culture, art, and society as a whole, from large iconic to small and scrappy marketing programs, from inspiration to humanizing your brand. I am Fabio Tambosi, your host, a multicultural and true international marketer known for building and creating emotive brand stories in today's fast-changing digital landscape and leading highly collaborative teams, all rooted in my lifelong experience as an elite soccer player. Listen in to hear how brands, people, and the world of marketing is undergoing a radical transformation and how global leaders are changing the world by using the power of human-centric stories and social media. In today's episode, I'm going to reflect quite a lot on the learnings from 2020. Those are the gifts of a challenging year. I want to start with a reflection on what these years have brought to us. It's a bit of a hindsight, and it is imperative that we reflect and grasp the learnings from some of the most difficult moments in our lives. I tried to find simple words to best describe what 2020 meant to me in this process. This is by far one of the greatest and hardest years of my entire life. Let's start first with humility. This was one of the biggest wake-up calls that humanity has faced in history. We weren't ready for this. Everything around us went on a pause we have ever seen. We lost control of our daily routines. We lost the option to choose when we come and go. The world wasn't prepared to respond and embrace the challenges presented by 2020. It definitely brought us a lot of humility. With humility came growth. With this rude wake-up call came a lot of pain and fear. And through the struggles of this year, we were gifted with a personal growth. Because the pandemic required us all actually to push ourselves to spaces we never thought possible. It challenged the status quo. It defied conventions. It broke old norms. And it created space for the new normal to rise. But no one really knows what the new normal looks like. To come out of this stronger than ever before, we have to put things into perspective. So the third word is perspective. Personally, 2020 has taught me the importance and power that we're slowing down has for our lives. Our family bond is stronger together. We now have time to reconnect. We're a dual career family with equal importance on each other's success and ambitions. For those who know me well enough, we have to make sure that we are constantly supporting each other and balancing our priorities. With the first lockdown, we brought a much stronger balance to our household responsibilities. This was only possible because we had to slow down. We came much closer together. That built a stronger sense of community. Community, it is another critical element that 2020 highlighted its importance. The importance of having a supporting network. For example, Clemson has been in my life for the last 20 plus years. I hold it very close to my heart because it changed my life for the better. I'm eternally grateful for the opportunities, the experiences, and the people I've met at Clemson. Integrity is the fourth word. During these unprecedented times, it became even more important that integrity is at the core of how we live our lives. It boils down to how we treat people and how we make decisions. The crazy thing about all of this is that the world came to a full stop during the pandemic because of COVID-19. We tend to forget everything that's going on around us. In January, we had a pretty serious situation in Australia with the bushfires. We also had the climate change movement led by Greta Thunberg. Then when we thought we coming out or a pandemic, we got hit by one of the most important social movements in the world's history with Black Lives Matter. Whenever the world thought we're getting back into it, it feels like the morning you don't want to get out of bed. You keep hitting this snooze button. You keep waking up and going back to bed. So, what does all of this mean for all of us? We felt extremely overwhelmed and feel very insignificant in the face of these huge global issues. But we had to figure out how to cope with these unstoppable changes without knowing the following. What role should we play in all of this? What is the role you want to play as a leader? What is the role you want to play as a human being, as a friend? Whatever we're going to do, it has to be meaningful, because we're only going to get out of all of this if we do it together. We reset our lives, create new habits, and actually think a lot harder about the decisions we make in our lives and how these impact our societies. For this to happen in a sustainable way, we must keep our values in check. I would like to leave you with one last message. Make sure your actions are congruent to what you say, do, and feel every aspect of your life. As an individual, in your community, as a leader at work, as a friend, every single time. Then, spread optimism into the world that you live in an authentic way. Simply be true to who you are.